In this video, we're going to cover 10 things that you should know about Pudge. This is the highest picked hero in Dota 2, and so I figured, we had to cover this guy at some point soon. And so here's 10 things that you absolutely should know about Pudge. Let's go. So a lot of you guys probably know that you can hook runes for free, because when you hook the rune, if it lands, it refunds it to you. But did you know that you can use the soul ring and then hook the rune? And then it will basically refund the mana you cast from the soul ring. So when the soul ring runs out, you're going to notice that my mana actually stays at the same sort of percentage that it already did, refunding me the actual used mana in the first place. So this kind of acts like a little bit of a mana boost, but just for yourself. This is pretty cool, and I didn't even think about this. If you can hook a rune, you can soul ring, hook the rune, and even though soul ring mana is temporary and is removed afterwards, you actually get to keep the amount that you spent on the hook. Did you know that you can use hook to reposition allies in a way to either save their life or to do things like refilling a bottle? For example, as long as the person is mid travel time through hook, they're still going to come to your location. This is, for example, useful if Kunkka uses an X mark on an ally and you want to save them from all the stuff that he's going to throw afterwards. So the example is Kunkka uses the X mark on the Rubik here, and then just before the X mark goes through, Pudge throws his hook, and then Rubik will actually end up at me and not over where the X mark is anyway. So you could save an ally with this, which is super useful, but there's a few other tricks that you can use this for as well. And this doesn't just stop at X mark, it's any sort of thing like disrupt a glimpse and all that. But say, for example, Rubik wants to refill his bottle. He's used all his mana, even though you can see that he hasn't. Let's just say that he has. He wants to refill his bottle, so he's going to TP back to base. First of all, he needs to have a TP. So he's going to do this, and then we are going to throw our hook from Pudge to make sure that he's traveling back to us. Okay, let's try that again. As you can see, takes a little bit of practice. So he's going to TP back to base, and I'm going to throw my hook just before he disappears. And then, as soon as he travels back to me and he gets back to base, he comes back to me with a full bottle because he's still got the fountain regen. It just pulls him from fountain directly back to me because he was already hooked. And then if you're kind enough, you can refund Pudge's mana with 1 bottle charge, or you've just got yourself a nice full bottle to use in the future. Pudge no longer increases the range of his hook by leveling it up. Instead, it is set to the same distance at all levels. Your hook will always be at a cast range of 1300 at all levels. However, each level does increase the damage that it deals, and this hook damage is still pure damage that pierces spell immunity. So it is still a valuable thing to get leveled up. Number 2, level 1 in Flesh Heap will block the rot damage to yourself from level 1 and level 2 rot. At level 2 Flesh Heap, you can block the damage of level 3 rot, and level 3 Flesh Heap is enough to block the damage of self damage from rot at all 4 levels. So don't neglect leveling up Flesh Heap. Being able to block that self damage to yourself from rot is absolutely huge and will make a massive difference in times when you are trying to take on other enemies. I can't stress enough how many times I have seen people who are just maxing hook and maxing rot and then ignoring Flesh Heap because it's just like, oh, it just doesn't deal damage, so I'm not going to get it. It is a big thing. And not only that, it's not just blocking damage from your own rot, of course, it is also making you a lot tankier and blocking damage from many other things as well. Number 3 is that Dismember lasts a lot longer on neutral creeps and even Roshan as well. This means that you can lock these units down for up to 5.5 seconds, and of course you also receive healing on yourself as well during this time, which makes it very useful. Say you're trying to take Roche and you need someone to control it, you can do this, and if you want to take things like any jungle creep to heal yourself up, you can definitely do that and get more health out of it as well. Keep in mind though that the Dismember audio cue, or the voice line I suppose of Dismember, is a global thing that enemies can hear as well. So if you're going to Dismember Roshan, this could be an absolute giveaway that your team is currently doing Roche, because if the enemy team just hears that you're dismembering and it's not an allied hero, they're immediately going to check Roche or think, oh, they're probably going to be doing Roche, and either use a scan on it to check if you are, or simply just go and have a look themselves. So it could be a giveaway. So do consider whether it is needed before you actually do it. As with many spells in the game, the hook range that is indicated by the circle when you go to cast the spell is actually not the complete max range. With hook, you can in fact cast this slightly past the actual circle indicator to get a max range hook and grab an enemy hero. Now this isn't as far as some other spells in the game that goes way further than the actual cast range, but it is still something that you may want to know about if you're trying to reach someone over a cliff, for example, and overall it's just a piece of information that is definitely worth knowing about. So if someone seems just slightly outside of the range for the circle, you may actually still be able to reach them. Now, I can't thank you guys enough for how fast this channel is growing. You guys seem to be enjoying the content, and I am having a blast making it. But if you haven't clicked the sub button yet, because many of you guys that are watching all the videos haven't, then please do consider clicking that sub button. It helps the channel out a ton. The more subs we get, the more videos I can post, and I promise you I am not going to stop making content anytime soon. We have a lot of stuff to cover. With that being said, I've taken 20 seconds of your time, and let's get back to the video. If you're in a game where the enemy team has a Rubik, you may want to consider doing your best to stop him from getting hold of your hook, because hook is an insanely good spell, and Rubik has an instant cast time as well, making it even easier for him to land hooks, and with the extra cast range that he gets, it could be a big problem. So to do your best to avoid him actually getting a hold of your hook, you want to be using rot as soon as you have cast it. So when you fire out the hook, immediately turn on your rot so that if he does do spell steal, he will hopefully take that instead of the hook. Now keep in mind that if he is super quick, there is going to be a slight delay between you being able to use your actual hook and then put your rot on, so he may still be able to get it. But this will just make it a hell of a lot harder for him to be able to do this. You can also do the same with dismember as well. If you dismember someone, just toggle your rot off and on, or on and off, whatever it is, and make sure that he doesn't actually get dismember if you are quick enough to do so. It is definitely a good habit to get into yourself to throw the hook and then use your rod immediately, just to make sure that he can't grab hold of it very easily anyway. So this one's going to be super short because it's old. It is old news and most people are going to know, but Pudge can no longer deny himself. And as someone who just returned to the game like a couple of months ago now, from about 6 years ago, I didn't know this until like today, which is why I chose Pudge for this video. I had no idea that he could actually not deny himself anymore. I was very surprised to find out. I don't play Pudge, that probably shows in the video, but this one actually really did surprise me. Number 9 is that if you cast your hook on a non-hero and not an ancient creep as well, you will instantly kill that unit. It will die no matter what, no matter how much health it has. If it hits that unit, it will die. This is pretty useful because it allows you not only to throw your hook into neutral camps and kill the big creeps in neutral camps very quickly, it also means that you can kill things like catapults straight away. It means that you can kill the banner creeps really quickly to secure that extra gold. It also means that you can secure range creeps straight away as well. Being able to kill off any neutral creeps, regular creeps, or anything like this is of course something that is super beneficial to yourself, because there's going to be many situations where you want to ensure that you get that last hit, and so this will allow you to do it. That being said, this also has the same effect if you're using it on Chen creeps or Enchantress control creeps as well. So it can be absolutely super useful against those heroes. Did you know that Pudge can actually hook and reposition allies that are channeling abilities without interrupting them? If you hook an enemy that's channeling something, it will cancel it. It will completely stop it because that person gets disabled. However, allies, it's not the same case. For example, if a Witch Doctor uses ultimate and then I hook the Witch Doctor, without moving the Witch Doctor somehow. Okay, let's try that again. If I ult with the Witch Doctor and then hook the Witch Doctor, his ultimate will continue to work until he either cancels himself, but he is in a safer position maybe in a team fight. This can be pretty useful if you do it correctly. Maybe you only do this with people in your team, as hooking the Witch Doctor that isn't with you, he made us panic and go, Pudge, why did you cancel my thing? When really it was him and you were trying to help. So maybe not keep that in mind. However, Witch Doctor's ult doesn't move when you hook him. It is worth keeping in mind though that people like Crystal Maiden, which is an AoE ult, does actually change it. So as you can see, CM ult isn't hitting Kunkka here, but if we hook the CM, we'll move the ultimate with her and it will go and hit Kunkka from this position. So you will sort of reposition CM's ult, so you can't like pull her out of the safety and then the ult's still over here. Keep that in mind. And you can move a person who is TPing to safety as well if you need to, but keep in mind that you need to do this early, because if you do it too late, you could just bring them back and end up kind of like killing them and getting them killed when they would have lived in the other situation. So keep it in mind, you can actually reposition allies that are channeling without cancelling it, but use it wisely. There you go, 10 things that everybody should know about Pudge. Did you know them all? You probably knew quite a few of them, but did you know all of them? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you did, then let me know some other ones that people should know about, and that way people can scroll through the comments and learn some other things as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Also sub to the channel if you are new around here, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later guys, bye.